Our first guest tonight is a two-time Emmy Award-winning actress you know from her work as Karen Walker on Will and Grace. New episodes air Thursday nights at 9:30 here on NBC. Let's take a look.
Every trick of his, you're on to, but fools will be fools, and where's he gone to?
Please welcome back to the show our friend Megan Mullally, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Delighted to have you. Do you like when you get to show off your musical chops in an episode like that?
Well, I mean, I know everybody's probably expecting jokes, and then I started singing, but I think pretty much 10 people know that I sing, but I kind of started as a singer, and I've done Broadway musicals and stuff like that, so it was so nice of the writers to write this episode where I get to sing.
That's
pretty
great.
Cool. Yeah.
And you're actually coming here to New York to perform you have a partner,
Yeah.
a singing duo.
Yeah, I have a
Nancy and Beth.
Nancy and Beth. This is Stephanie Hunt. That's me. And we have this really fun band. We sing in harmony, and every song is choreographed by me from top to bottom, and we wear little matching outfits, and we have 5 pieces behind us. It's this really cool band. It's hard to describe. It's just very celebratory and
That's awesome. And
different.
I mean, is it great to return to those roots and be on stage singing like that?
Oh, yeah. It's the band, in many ways, is kind of my favorite thing, just because with Stephanie and I, it's like 2 little girls playing, you know?
Yeah.
It's just pure creativity.
And you do have a lot of control, you know, when you're not doing it as a television show, when you actually just go out in front of an audience. It must just feel so freeing.
Yeah, it's fun because we call it punk vaudeville sometimes because there's no other, we had to make up our own category. But we get out there and the songs are really sharp, and then it all just falls to pieces in between. You know, we're like, what now? What do we do? We don't have anything planned. Yeah,
That's great.
It's great.
I just went through the awards circuit. You were at the Golden Globes. Did you have a good time at the Globes? Did you get to bump
did.
into people that you were excited to see?
I did. I've got the secret. So if you're ever going to present at the Golden Globes, and I'm sure most of you will,
Yeah.
go. Just hang out in the green room.
Yeah.
Don't go sit there. Just go straight backstage through an alley, sit in the green room, and wait until it's your time, and then leave, because you get to people watch. And I was standing there talking to. This is my favorite thing that happened. I was talking to Sam Elliott, who is really tight with my husband, if you can imagine.
Your husband, Nick
much.
Offerman, and Sam
Nick
Elliott. That
Offerman.
makes perfect
That much
sense.
Testosterone.
Yeah.
It's like ultra man.
Did they
you
meet
know?
chopping down trees in the woods?
Yes, exactly. And so I was talking to Sam, and Harrison Ford wandered up to say hello to Sam. I don't know him. Sam introduced me, and I said hello, and I said, you know what? You were one of my all-time favorite guests on Letterman. You were so funny because he would ask you a question, and you would just go, no. He had this weird thing going with Letterman. And he goes, oh, how is Dave? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, I hope he's well. I said, and he said, oh, I thought you were a writer. And I said, no, I'm an actress. I just presented. And he goes, oh. I said, I'm on a television show. You wouldn't know. And he goes, oh, gosh, oh. And I said, Harrison made a BB. And he literally went, he did. He did. He did make a BB. And I thought, I love this guy.
That's the greatest
I
interaction
love
you
it.
possibly
He
could have had.
Went full baby talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a jackpot.
I know.
Also, when you meet somebody who's a giant icon like that, it's so great when they're the one who makes the mistake.
Totes.
Because usually the lower status person gets nervous and screws up.
Yeah.
But he blew it, and then you
Yeah.
got to reap the reward.
And I mean, it was so delightful.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
great. And then you hosted, and you were wonderful at the SAG
That's
Awards.
very nice of you.
Did
I
you
had a lot of
enjoy
fun.
that?
I did. I had, great, everybody was great, and I had a lot of fun, and you know, cute clothes and
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to, you sort of made fun of some people,
Well,
Emma Stone, Lady Gaga. Fun making fun
I
of.
mean, but cute in a nice way. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't want to do anything
It was very
mean-spirited.
friendly.
It
But
was-
did you run into anybody
I
backstage?
said that Lady Gaga did my eyeliner, that she'd been doing my eyeliner for the last 15 years, that she just can do anything was the gist. And so I got backstage like right after the monologue, and she was standing there and she was like, "Oh my God, that was so great. You're so funny," and blah, blah, blah. And she was super nice, like really normal, nice. And I was like, "Oh God, thank you. I mean, you know, you're the real thing. I mean, I'm with Tony Bennett. Your voice is like nobody's ever told her she can sing." So I was like, I'm really gonna blow her away with this one. And she was so nice. She goes, "Well, you should come see my jazz show in Vegas. You know, it's all that kind of music." And I said, "I'd love to." And I said, "You know, I feel like I'm going to call you Stephanie." And she said, "You can call me Stephanie." I mean, isn't that nice?
That's
'Cause
really
that's
nice.
her name.
Yeah. That is
like,
her name.
you don't
We should, for
know-
anybody who doesn't know, because otherwise you sound like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to call you
I'm gonna call
Pam.
Bill. Yeah.
Well, that's all. She is a lovely person.
She was so nice.
And that is I think those are the best. The only reason to go to those shows is to have those like actual sort of nice moments backstage.
Yeah, backstage is where it's at, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're just walking by people and just like, hey, it's great. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.